I was an AD, so you know.
Episode, and you may notice, recognize Keith from some behind the scenes of when I posted about 709, because KP is usually the AD of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and was my...
Oh my
Oh
gosh,
no.
that's my phone, sorry. I'm texting on the chat, on the live chat.
Hey, Chris!
Hello.
Chris, what's up? How are you?
Doing?
How's everybody doing?
Good. Boy, what a haircut. I love it.
Yeah, had to buzz it all off.
Was all up. I think you were recognized from Jeff's Deek startup company.
Yeah, I know. With the short hair, it's a totally different character.
Chris did a cameo on, what episode number was that?
It was 604.
604, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This week, you are the writer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So awesome. And here's Diane.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys?
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's so nice to see you guys.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here, everybody. But Diane, you are next level in this episode.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, get over it. I watched it twice already.
Thank you. That's
So
very
good.
Yeah, you were wonderful. Wonderful.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but and it's been like a little tease of Kora for a while, and now I feel like we really just get to see her in this episode.
Yeah. It was really intimidating doing,
Just quickly before it starts,
yeah.
Keith and Chris, I feel like you both have very interesting stories, and we don't have to kind of get into it right now, but can you just explain what you did before and then what you do on this episode? So Keith, why don't you go?
So you mean job-wise, where we both came from? Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Because Chris has got a crazy rise to stardom. You go first, Chris.
Sure. Okay. Well, coming out of college, I went to college on the East Coast and started doing some PA work in New York City. They have a lot of movies and TV shooting over there. And I was kind of on sets and, kind of, getting experience that way. And everyone told me if I wanted to be a writer, I have to move to LA, and all the writing is out there, regardless of where production is. So after a couple of years in New York City, I packed my bags and moved to Los Angeles, which was a little bit of a culture shock, but I got used to it. And I started on S.H.I.E.L.D.
About you.
What?
You have a New York vibe about you.
Oh, thank
like,
you.
Super cool, like a bit too cool for LA, maybe.
I don't know. New York is a little too stressful. It's a little too, you have to be on all the time, where LA is a little more laid back, which is definitely better for stress levels.
So sorry, I interrupted you. So you're in LA now, and then what?
Moved to LA and started working here a little bit, PAing, getting on commercials, and finally I got an interview for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 2 in the Office, so Office production, where I worked for a couple of years as the Office PA, and then eventually an opening on the writer's side for the writer's PA opened up, and I moved over there and was the writer's PA. And then I was kind of filling in for the writer's assistant in the writer's room, taking notes, kind of writing down everything everybody says. I did that for a couple of years, writer's PA / writer's assistant. And then in season 6, I was given the chance to be the script coordinator for S.H.I.E.L.D. And I took that opportunity, which was amazing, and did that season 6 and season 7. And towards the end of season 7, Jed, Mo, and Jeff offered me the chance for this script, which was kind of obviously an amazing opportunity and such a cool way to go out for this show that I'd spent most of my 20s growing up and learning the industry through, starting from the bottom and really working my way up. So,
oh, my heart is beating so fast just hearing that story. It's like, oh, and it started. I try and do a, if you're watching along, press play now. I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm not very good usually. I'm so thank you for telling that story, Chris, because it's really inspiring, and it's just, you've always been around, and I guess I knew that you wanted to be a writer, because I think most PAs in the writer's side of the office, that's kind of usually what you want to do, right? But just for you to have gotten an episode is obviously amazing, but for it to be this, like, I'm pointing up here because that's where the TV is.
Right.
It's so good.
I have a question. Chris, Zach here. I'm Elizabeth's fiance, by the way. When did you show like a writing sample? Like, at what stage in the process were you like, I can actually write? Like, when did they need to see that?
That's such a good question.
Right from when I was office PA, any extra time you have, which, is not much extra time, but when you come home after those 12, 14-hour days, you're just working your butt off, writing. And luckily, being in this specific writer's room, all the writers from top down were always so excited to help. And, once I got, after a couple of years of working and reworking, I finally put together something that I thought maybe could be okay. And, maybe
was it like an episode of the show? Was it something?
No, it was most of the time nowadays people write, their own TV pilot, speculative scripts. Back in the mid 2000s, it really was, everyone was writing episodes of shows that they would show to people. And that's kind of moved towards writing your own pilot, which is better and worse in different ways. But, I probably showed my work to somebody, after 2 years maybe of being around that.
Going, there you go, please don't hate me.
No, essentially just kind of, first you build the relationships, because you don't just walk in and say, hey, read my stuff, as like, a total newbie. But after you build those relationships and you take their advice and you kind of work those friendships and really grow those first, then, people are way more open and way more willing to help you out, which, obviously you guys know all the writers from S.H.I.E.L.D. and how amazing and helpful they are. And, just very lucky to be a part of all that.
Such a long road, Chris. Congratulations. This is an amazing episode.
Thank you.
And you were just so, Diane, you can like speak to this too, but like you just had such a cool confidence on set, Chris, that you would never know that was your first episode, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey, sorry, I just turned my volume on. What's going on, guys?
Not much. Boy, like looking super slick.
I thought I'd wear a t-shirt to match the morality of my character. Hi, Keith. Hi, Chris. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Hanging in there. Same old.
It looks exactly the t-shirt you're wearing as Malick.
I didn't escape with that one, so it's not.
Yeah, what a shame. Aren't you watching it going, God, I wish I'd stolen that and that and that. That would be so useful.
The Neo meets John Cusack meets Bender from the Breakfast Club jacket would really come in handy right now.
Yeah, wouldn't it? That'd be so fun.
Hi, Diane. I didn't even see you. Oh my gosh.
How are you?
How's it going?
Keith, a really funny bit just happened where, and I try not to spoil too much, but it doesn't really ever work, where Deek, you're on the wall and then Deek just kind of like pops his head out.
Yeah, there's a little story behind that.
Yeah, I figured because I watched it. It made me laugh out loud. I lost it.
Well, you know what? It fits for his character, I think, and Chris can tell you. So we had every episode is a little long, usually, a few minutes. We try to get so much great stuff in there. And what I loved about this episode, which we talk about later, is I just love the way the executive producers allowed it to breathe, when they did their final edit on it, because it was so important in so many scenes. But we do try to put so much action and so much stuff happening that there was a whole piece that actually didn't make it to air.
No.
And yes. So the reason he pops out is he's just knocked out one of the bad guys with a wrench. And that's why he pops out. So but it works. It works great.
So someone had to get hit over the head with a wrench and it didn't even make it in?
Yeah, stunt guy. He took it right in the face.
Oh, the face.
But, that's just the way it is. I mean, sometimes, the episodes end up being 10 minutes long, maybe 8 minutes long, we have to trim them down to the 42 minutes of air. So unfortunately, there's some great moments that you have to lose. It's just, it's in anything. I mean, and every director and writer, I think, probably hates to cut stuff out because it's their baby, but it's just stuff that has to go. And, it still works. It still fits Deek's character great.
Oh my God, it was perfect. I loved it. It's one of my most favorite Deek moments.
Well, it's very Jeff.
Deek. Very Jeff, let's be honest. Very Diane, you're on screen right now. Can we talk about your outfit? It is so amazing. Did you steal it?
So I asked for, I feel like every week Kora got a new leather jacket. Like every week it got more and more kind of edgy and I think I started as like purples and then it went to gray and then black. They made sure that it was always there at the end of the night because I asked if they had a double or if they had, because on the stunt scene on this, I had, I think, 3 jackets because I would just sweat through stuff or if we're running a lot, and they never let me take one, but I almost snuck it in there. Yeah.
It's funny because at this point of the filming, I don't know if you found this too, Tom, but like as we got, because this is 7/11, there's only 2 more episodes left. And by the way, there's only 1 more week of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So crazy for you.
Wow.
Like towards the end of the filming, like all the costume people were very careful about like, okay, goodbye, have a good night. They did not
Isn't there an auction going on? Can't I like bid on my stuff?
I saw
that.
There is one, yeah.
There is an auction. When people might tell us.
I just saw it on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I did too. I think you're right. At first, I thought it was like one of us. That was kind of my retirement plan of all the stuff. Like put it up for auction at one point. Yeah. Secret stuff.
Ways to make money during COVID.
There you go. Exactly. What can we do? Diane, Kora is having her scene with Daisy right now. When I watched this, I was just, when you're an actor, like you watch stuff thinking like, oh my God, I wonder how much, like, this is how I would feel in this scene or whatever, shooting it. How was it to have a one-on-one with Quake, who is your sister, and like Chloe Bennet, and like to come in and have such a huge storyline this late on in a show? It's like everything's just so climactic. How was that scene? Like, were you?
To be honest, I think there was so much anticipation for when the 2 of us would get on screen together.
Yes, exactly.
That when it happened, I mean, a little bit of pressure, which was fine, but Chloe was so, I mean, the second that I looked at her, I feel like there's such a buildup and there's so much pressure that it was just so emotional.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it came off that way, but I just felt like we were on the cusp of like breaking down or,
Oh yeah.
Keith gave us so many takes, different takes. I remember being like, some takes were more angry or he let that vulnerability side come out. But it was interesting. I think it went by that scene. We filmed it so quickly because we got what we needed, but it was tense. But in like a lovely, like that's my favorite kind of scene to shoot because, it's very intimate. It's one-on-one with someone. And yeah, Chloe was great. Lovely.
Great. I mean, I have goosebumps watching it and I've got it on mute. Like, it's such a cool scene.
Can I just tell you something about that? First off, Chris wrote an amazing script. I mean, I love it so much. And I got so lucky to have it. But having, Diane there with our team that we've already had forever. And I remember thinking to myself, it's got to be daunting for her in a way to step into that role and this new show with new people she doesn't know. They're all on their game. They're all very good at what they do. And I remember we did the group interrogation scene just before that one that just played. And I remember purposely we waited and let Diane go last because I almost felt like I needed to like
do that.
Let her remember, like, because I want to let you get into it and find it, and because it's a lot of work. I mean, people don't understand when you're acting. I mean, you have to hit a mark, say a line, emote emotion, and sell it and make people believe it. And you did a fantastic job. I mean, really awesome stepping into it like that. Really well done.
Thank you.
Why don't you?
I was just saying, what was, Diane, tell your process. Like, what was your, like, how did the casting process go for you?
I don't know if any of you know this. Mine was crazy. I think
I don't know this.
I was shooting in Cape Town. I was shooting my show in Cape Town, and it was the last week of production, and the audition came in on a Monday, and I was set to fly back to the States on Saturday. And Monday came, and they mentioned that I think casting had been looking for a long time, so they weren't necessarily looking for tapes anymore. And so they just took my reel. But because of that, I felt helpless because I couldn't do the scene, I couldn't do the words of the show. You're just using my past work. And so my agent was like, don't worry about it. They're just going to look at your tape. Let it go. And I didn't hear anything.
Well, your reel, you didn't do a self-tape.
Well, then, so Tuesday, my manager was like, they have to decide today. You'll hear back tomorrow. It's fine. And then Tuesday came on and she was like, well, we haven't heard back, so that's not a good sign. How about you put it on tape? Like they're asking for it now. And the hard thing was, sorry?
Back in LA at this point?
No, I was in Cape Town shooting.
Cape Town, right.
So I told her, I was like, well, I'm still shooting and I've got 2 big days left. When's my deadline? And so what ended up happening was I literally finished, I wrapped my season 2. I pulled a random castmate into a random green room and I put it on tape, and then we sent it away that Thursday. And then Friday we heard back that we got it. So I was on the plane. I landed Sunday. Monday I was in a fitting. Tuesday I was shooting. Like it was insane. And
I remember the first time that Diane and I worked together, it was like a Monday. And I was like, oh, so when, like, what you been up to? He's like, well, I got off a plane last night. I'm like, oh, from where? Cape Town. I was like,
I honestly, I had a really early call time, which was fine because I was getting up so early because of the jet lag. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm second scene up. It'll be fine. I'll take a nap at lunch. But it went long. And I swear, Thomas, you probably saw me like trying to, like caffeine, trying to wake myself up because.
Not at all. Your professionalism
crazy.
Shone through.
Wow.
Crazy. And I'm so glad it happened that way. I'm so, so, so grateful because I had such an amazing time. Like I couldn't have asked for a better way to start to be on your show.
I guess it doesn't allow you to feel too nervous because you're just like in a whirlwind, maybe.
Like thrown into it. Yeah, in a way, a little bit. But then being on set and my first table read, I was shaking the whole time because, you know, seeing across from all of you and watching you guys over the years and what Keith said, you have your process and you're in your zone and your characters are so well developed. And then it was so intimidating, but I feel like everyone was so welcoming. And it was just so much fun to play.
Oh, well, you nailed it. And you would never know you were nervous at all. But I still get nervous at the table.
Keith felt it. I was, you know.
You were awesome. I mean, seriously, you know, the one thing about the scene with Chloe, I remember that scene and you know, a lot of times in our show, we have a lot of dialogue to get in and we like to have people kind of cruise through it pretty quick. Keeps the energy of the show going. But I remember in that particular scene, I told you both, because there was a little bit of rushing at the beginning of it. And I remember telling it, I think to Chloe specifically, I just said, just take your time. Like take the pauses, take the moments. If we have to cut into it, we'll get it and tighten it up. But that's the one thing I think on that scene between the two of you that works so well. It's the non-verbal parts of that scene that sell it. It's your facial expression when you say, you've always wanted a sibling. You know what I mean? It's just, it really makes a huge difference. It really does.
Oh my gosh. Guess who's here? Speak of the devil. This is Kora, real bitch.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we can't hear you yet.
Oh, no audio? There we go.
I've never done this.
Oh,
That was it.
that was enough, though.
Thanks,
you know. That was perfect. Keith, you know when you talk about allowing those pauses, which, like Tom and Diane, I'm sure, like it's so lovely as an actor to get that because this is a show we don't often. You know, there's so much action. Did you have in mind like I want this scene to have those moments, so I need to try and earn it elsewhere, like?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's where, you know, you come in, like we talked about earlier, the thing that got cut out or whatever, you know, you have to make certain sacrifices, but that scene in particular was one I knew I wanted to do that way. And the scene that's coming up later in the Quinjet with two characters talking heart to heart, I won't give it away. But that, I mean, you know, those two in particular, I knew were stuff that they're scenes that would really benefit from letting it. There's more than just dialogue to acting, obviously, as you know. I mean, it's about being a human being. You know, it's about so those nonverbal moments are just as important as any of the words that come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and especially when you see, because Malick doesn't. I mean, you have some really hard lines to say, Tom. Like some of the stuff that you like have to like you really pull it off, but they're just, you know, you're the big bad. It's kind of, you have to go for you have to do Malick 1,000%, otherwise it's not going to work. You know, like 100%. Your walk and the costume. And how did you approach him, I guess, in some of the lines in this?
One of the like literally the very first, I had my audition, and then I had a Zoom back when this was, you know, not every day, with Jed, Jeff, and Marissa, and we were just talking about the character. And
no, so wait, so you got the part and then you?
No, I auditioned, and then I had like a interview with the showrunners, like the day of the table read for 705, which was to be my first episode.
So were you in New York, or where were you? Why was it Zoom?
Right here. I was just here, and they were at production office because you guys were hard at work, and they were like, "We're having a table read later. You're welcome to come down." It's like, chill, I'm there. But we were having a conversation about the character, and something came up that Nathaniel is so interested because, or at least this timeline's Nathaniel is so interested in like just the physical manifestation of power and just being physically strong and be able to take care of himself. And he doesn't really, the political machinations of power aren't as interesting to him. So like to be able to just walk into the show and be like this super powered baddie was like, that was important to him, you know, and the character just followed.
Well, you nail it. That's interesting to hear that like approach. Chloe Bennet.
She's back.
We can't hear you.
Is out.
You texting me?
Is she muted?
Have I muted you? Oh, ask to unmute. I'm asking you to unmute. So have you got headphones in? Oh, there you go. Can anyone else hear her?
I can't hear her, no. She's playing with us. She's messing with us. It's a total scam. I don't buy it.
Oh my gosh, this is so perfect.
Oh, I bet she has her audio output to something else on Zoom.
Oh, did you do that meeting today about press tomorrow? Did you change your audio? Oh, sorry, I can't. Oh.
She's gone.
I want to text her and say, what?
Keith, I wanted to ask you, basically I do these Zooms just so I can ask all my nosy little silly questions. But when we are with, so on screen right now is, Tom, you're just so different as Malick. By the way, everyone should know watching, Tom is very different from Malick. Tom is very nice and sweet.
I wouldn't say, I'm just kidding.
I had a lot of scenes with him, so.
He's never really hit anybody.
No, exactly. You're quaking my brain at the moment.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And you just got knocked out.
I do have the supervillain cat though.
Oh yes. Yeah, I guess just lean into it, right? Did you have a like a different approach to shooting the baddie scenes to the people on the face? Because it feels like that.
Yeah, well, if you look at every time that you see a close-up of Thomas, you can barely tell it, but we just did a slight little bit. So most of the wides are pretty straight and level, but whenever it gets to his coverage, I just would say to Bill, I go, just touch it a little bit, and he would give it that. So he's always off kilter just a little bit because he's kind of off kilter, you know? So it just gives, you know, it's a subtle thing. It just gives it an edgy feeling. You can't put your finger on what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's what we get.
I feel like it totally does, because there's something menacing about it, and it's so interesting. Just the tilt of the camera just kind of changes the whole tone of it.
Mm-hmm. And there's a thing later on that comes in later on where, you know, you'll see him later where there's a moment he's right up into the camera. I mean, up in tight in the camera in his face, and it works. It really works. So it's a scene with you.
Those moments, because you have like Daisy at the start. You're super close on her eyes. That is such a beautiful shot. Are they hard?
Well, you know, there was the beginning of that was a combination of I had an initial idea when I read Chris's script that I thought would be kind of interesting to start with some really super tight detail. Is she back? Can she hear us?
I can hear you guys. So exciting.
Nice.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey Tom, hey Chris, hey sis, hey Fifi.
Hey, you look great.
Thanks. Thanks so much. How are you guys?
And you, since you weren't here to get all the praise, we were just talking about. I have to tell you, man, your performances in this are just phenomenal. I love them.
I haven't seen it yet, so
you haven't? Oh my
your word
gosh!
for it.
It's so.
Watch it.
I'm so bad at keeping up with these things.
Well, it's not on over there yet, so you got.
That's true. We do have it.
Yeah.
And every week I ask Elizabeth what time we're doing a Zoom, and she's like, every week she's so nice, and she's like, it's at this time. Like, it's not the same fucking time every week, which is funny. How are you guys?
Good. I'm great.
Everyone's great. Chloe, we were singing your praises about yours and Diane's scene, which you haven't seen and when you shot a year ago, so I don't know if you remember it, but it's when basically it's the first time you guys are on screen, just the two of you, right? Is that what you were saying, Diane?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in the little closet room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiny room.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. That was quite literally a year ago, wasn't it?
It was a little bit over a year ago. Yeah, sure was. Because we finished the last episode 713 in the end of July.
I've been saying for this entire year that I was like, I just wrapped a show I was on a few months ago.
Me too.
For a year.
Pretty much.
Because what did it re-wrap? August?
No, it was like, I think it was like the last, like July 28th or 20th. It was like the very last week.
We wrapped in July?
Yeah.
So it's been over a year.
Yep.
Whoa.
I know.
I mean, I think Gary might have had some, pickup shots to do for something like that the first week of August, but like August 7th. But other than that, we were done.
When Chloe was the last shot of like main picture. How crazy is that, Chloe?
Yeah, it was a really fun shot.
I have so many videos of that shot that I just cannot wait.
It's truly like the most anticlimactic, like classic moment of life where you like think, we've been doing this show for so long and you're like, oh, it's going to be this moment and everyone's going to be, and I can't give away what we're doing, but it's definitely the dumbest I've ever looked shooting anything. And we look really dumb.
Really?
So
a couple times.
So
it was perfect. It couldn't have been better.
Which, Tom, by the way, you Quake Power stealer, it's been so weird to see someone else with my powers and you're killing it.
I'm just keeping them warm for you.
You're doing so well. Like, it took me like seasons to like adjust, and you're like, ugh, and like just doing so well.
I remember when the first time we ever saw Nathaniel Quake,
I
had to come to you and be like, so
yeah,
how do we do this? And you gave me like, all right, so this is where you should live. Like, it should be more in the thing, it was
but you've given it like your own twist. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more.
I got shot down pretty hard when I suggested slightly of my own twist.
Colpack is Quake.
Yeah.
He is.
He kind of is in his soul.
Yeah.
So
Colpack is the head of CGI?
Visual effects coordinator. He's awesome. Chloe, do you remember the time at the end of season, where were we downtown? Was that season 6? I can't remember now. They all run together.
Yeah. No,
5. Now we're getting Colpack to demonstrate you running down the street. I love that. I have it on video. It's very funny.
Yep,
great
that
too.
was that was again when the whole rest of production had finished and me and Gary's unit, obviously.
Yep.
And wasn't that like on a Monday? So you had to wait
It
Saturday?
was like the rap party had happened and it was like everyone was done and we had like the biggest fight where we blocked off like 4 city blocks. And it was honestly, it was just me running. I ran like 11 miles that day. In the quake suit. It was so hot, but it was actually it was like a really fun day. It was really cool. But he was running around quite literally like he was in heaven. That was Disneyland.
Yeah, he had a good day.
Everything now. What was the twist that you put on it, Tom? Like, what's the slightly different quakey thing that you do?
I'm almost embarrassed to say. I wanted it to be like a lower effort version of it, you know, like he could do, you know. And they're like, no, you're not Quake. Nice try. You can't just make up the rules.
Can I say, when I first met Tom, that first day on set, it set the standard. You took it so seriously, Tom. I don't know if you even realized you were doing this, but when we would have conversations of just, you know, on-set banter, he would be practicing his hand movements and gestures until we were shooting, like offset. I'm like, oh, okay, he's practicing.
Like doing it as you guys are talking?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love it. Muscle memory. Yeah.
So I do a lot of like body talking, I guess.
You do. Yeah.
You know what? You had to jump right into it. I think there was like a little, like, I had a little bit more cushion because I got on camera. The character was like fitting, like trying to find how she felt with her powers. So I got to be as confused as I was off camera with like doing, it's like no joke. Like you either have to commit or you don't, or it looks so bad. Yeah. So, and committing, people don't realize on screen is so weird in front of so many people when no one else is doing it. You know what I mean? You're
nothing's
like,
happening. Like
nothing's happening.
No one's like, we all rock a bit, and then
it's just so dumb. Like it's so stupid, and then, like if you don't have wind, like it's all like so.
The wind I almost never got used to. That was like,
yeah.
Am I allowed to discuss it?
Right?
Say it again.
You have someone like crouching, kind of to hide.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if I could discuss like how the sausage gets made. But basically, when you're quaking, there's a guy from FX like with a leaf blower just right in your face to try and like give that gravitas. And the first take, I was for sure like no idea what I was doing.
So dumb feeling. And almost always the first take, bless their heart, you get missed a little bit. So there are times when I can feel the wind, right? It's like here. It's like the tunnel of wind is like right here on my shoulder or something. And I'm like dead serious and I'll be like, you know, like on camera, just knowing that if we have to start again, like just for the wind, it's going to be a whole thing. There's so many times Keith and I would be like, fuck, we just did 2 takes and we forgot the fucking wind. And we'd be like, wind, you guys. We've been doing it.
You were the one who always caught it though. And I was so grateful because you would go, I need wind for this, right? I'm like, oh, yes.
It's unbelievable how every single time it's forgotten. It's still to the very last shot, we forget it every time. It's funny.
So nervous that wind. It's like being back at school and like having to catch the ball or something just to like, you know, and because if the wind isn't right, the shot is useless. And
we get like you would think it's like Marvel show, and they're like, we've like gotten to the point where people are like, they have like their set, like they're like size, and they're like looking at you. Leaf blowers, like little hair dryers that like don't work. Like the funniest things that just aren't cool. But then you guys all pull it together, and it's like amazing. It's crazy.
Pull it off. It looks very cool by the time you see it. Clobell, right now, Mac is talking to you.
Oh,
this made me cry.
I cried too much shooting that scene. I'm excited. Chris, that scene is so good.
It was like, how was it writing that scene, Chris? Because it's a very kind of, how do you say, I don't know enough words, but it's like very reflective of what we were going through as a show.
Yeah, it's definitely meant to be an expression of what the cast and the crew and us as writers were really going through at the time and saying goodbye to this show, because it's been 7 years for so many of us, and so many of us have really grown up and had children and gotten married, and so much has happened to all of us.
I've done none of those things, but
Austin Wally.
I want to say that Chloe, though, in that scene, this is just a way that we all contribute, everybody. I mean, anybody on the crew can have an idea about how to do something. And I remember going into that scene, and the way that Chris had originally written it, they were sitting in the jump seats, side by side. And I remember you, Chloe, that day, it was so cool because you said, I want to sit on the ground. And Jed happened to be there, and we looked at each other, and Jed just kind of went, yeah. So it was Chloe's idea to have Daisy sit where she did, and it just changed the dynamic so much.
yeah, I remember that.
That was a really good instinct.
Oh, thanks, Keith. We were like, it was we've done so many scenes in that, where you're sitting next, and it just felt, I think Chloe wanted to do that because it was the what's being said, and like, it's so, what Elizabeth said is so reflective of what we were going through as a show. And it felt like a really important conversation to have with Henry also, like as me and him together. And so it just felt, we could not keep it together, Henry and I. We were very emotional.
Were you? I think I remember you saying on that day, and I think I saw Henry afterwards, and he was like, golly, I hardly made it through.
Well, Henry and Chris writing that with like anything Henry and he has to get emotional. When he starts going, I don't know, he's like menthol. You just start crying. You're like, I'm gonna just die. He's so good at those emotional beats. It was so nice. Don't you guys miss those days in the Quinjet?
Yeah.
When we had to figure out a way to get underneath.
Remember when we had to do a fight scene just in the cockpit area of the Quinjet, only like 3 people. I remember that. That was cool.
Me?
No, it was
Was it me?
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was gosh, I'm trying to remember the entire scene now, but it was back when we had actually turned the front of the Quinjet into a trawler. And we walled off the back. We made a really tight little small cockpit. We had to do a fight scene in there with 3 people in that little tiny spot in the front.
It's a fight just getting into those seats. I don't think I've got into them once without bashing my head or banging my knee, or like, they're not easy to just slide into.
Everybody hits their head at least two good solid times in the Quinjet before you learn to duck.
And it's weirdly the only like piece of set that's like heavy metal. Like everything else like is like, it looks like on camera like it's heavy metal, and it's like foam. And then like that's the one set that you just don't want to be hard, and every part of it is so hard, like physically just hard. Keith, I feel like you have like 7 scars on your head.
I mean, everybody does. I mean, especially going to the cockpit and you walk into that bulkhead right there, and it's like, wham! Oh, son of a bitch! Constantly that happens.
Chris, quick question. We've seen some flashbacks of Fitz and Simmons.
Oh yes.
How did you choose the flashbacks? And by the way, any actor, I don't know if you guys feel this, but when you read a script and you see like flashbacks, you're like, amazing, I'm in so much of this, and I've already done all the work. Like, see. How did you choose the scenes?
First of all, I watched a lot of Fitzsimmons scenes, and a lot of Fitzsimmons fan love videos. A lot of fan videos. A lot of those with the songs and everything, which was very fun. And
that's how the fans, like our fans do influence the show so much. Like stuff we'll see on Twitter, we can then take to the writers' room. We'll be like, hey, did you see this? And like writers are obviously all over Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Like that's so cool that influenced the scenes you picked.
Right, definitely to see, what the fans enjoy, and just also what thematically worked for this episode, and what were my favorite Fitzsimmons scenes. Obviously, the flashback at the bottom of the ocean is one of the best scenes of the entire show.
They're such babies too. Watching these scenes back, it's
Are they? They're babies. They're so cute in that scene.
That was our audition scene at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. So you just kind of picture. Did all your choices make it in? Were you able to?
Yes, actually, those scenes that we used were the scenes that I had always wanted to use, and they went in. Our EPs were into it, and just all kind of worked pretty seamlessly.
I don't want to spoil what's coming next, so I'll probably just leave that one there.
I almost just said something that happened in the finale. I'm fired from this. Hey, sis.
Hi, sis. How are you?
Ugh, miss you.
It's been too long. It's been too long.
I know. Did you see that picture? Because we took a picture a long time ago, and
I got tagged in it.
And I was like, I told them like a year ago, I was like, save that. I'm not gonna tell you what, but you should say
with
that.
Marissa, right? Is that the one with Marissa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Marissa were at a dinner one night, and our picture got taken, and now people know why.
Oh.
Very exciting.
Very.
Yeah, because when did the release come out, Diane? Like way after, right? When did they say that you were going to be, like, when could you start saying that you were in this season?
I couldn't. No, there's nothing.
So like just as the episodes air, then you can say, hey, I did this thing?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, basically.
Oh
yeah, it was very tight-lipped, almost to a point where Jeff's assistant, I can't remember his name because I never met him actually, but I did this comedy show and he comes up to me and he calls me Kora. And I just looked at him like, I have no idea what you're talking about. What? Like,
committed.
He's like, oh, Kora, I know. I'm like, what are you saying? And it got to him being like, I'm like, oh, okay. It was scared for my life. I signed a lot of papers. I do remember that.
Yeah, they do scare you, Marvel.
My soul was so long ago.
When at a comedy show, were you doing the comedy show?
Okay. I love improv. I don't do it, but my friends started the show called Asian AF, and it's an Asian comedy variety show. And I was like the guest of it. So you just go and they do like Voltron, so they'll ask you questions and you tell a story and they'll improv off of it. But he was there and he was so nice.
That's so fun.
Is that like online anywhere? Like that?
I don't know. I mean, now they actually have to do like Zoom shows, which I've never watched, but I don't know if that one will be on there.
We just watched.
It's called Asian AF.
Yeah, Asian AF.
Google it, everyone.
I was just interjecting, but we did just finish watching Diane online. What was the dance show called?
Oh, stop. I Googled you because
don't you dare do that.
I got your name right. That's all. Like, I was like, I don't know if I've ever said your last name, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. And then.
So you think you can dance?
Stop saying it. Stop talking.
Do you think you can dance?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but
Canada?
Incredible at dancing. You're so amazing at dancing. I had no idea.
Oh my gosh!
What kind of dancing?
I was a contemporary dancer. I was a professional dancer, and then I dropped it and I kind of full-time did acting. Oh my gosh, Elizabeth!
So amazing.
I didn't bring it up to embarrass you. We just enjoyed it. We thought you were very.
Do you dance still or not anymore?
I mean, I always use some sort of movement, so I'm very grateful that I have that background with like whether it's stunts or like dancing or something on a show. But I can't say I dance anymore. I'll take like a class here or there, but.
Once a dancer, always a dancer. I was going to say, you are also effortless with your powers, right? That's out. Okay.
How was that process for you? Like, how did you come up with, like, did you work with Colpack to come up with kind of how they looked?
Yeah, but I think it was because I did. It helped a lot that the light actually came from my hand, so that there was something there. I didn't have to imagine it, like the wind and stuff.
A little.
Yeah, it was like an LED light pack that was like taped and then shoved in my jackets, and it was a whole thing.
That's like way harder because you were like do, and there's like a ping pong ball in your palm. That's glowing.
Yes, like somehow we always have to like hide it if we're in certain scenes. But I think the great thing was Kora never really was taught how to use her power. So it wasn't necessarily honed in, or she knew. It was just at first it was kind of like it happened not, it happened like not on purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like her emotions boiled up and something would happen.
Yeah.
So I think that also helped that I wasn't doing things to perfect it necessarily.
Yeah.
But if I looked ridiculous, he would tell me. He'd be like, okay, we need to make it a little simpler or something.
He'll come in and be like, that looked bad.
Do it like this.
Yes.
This is classic.
We're at the scene now where Max having the chat with Sousa.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
How was this cute, Keith? Like,
Aren't I asleep?
Yes, you're asleep.
yeah, you're
Sitting up.
which
I think I also
that
tried to lay on the ground for
part
that. You guys were like, no. But like, yeah, okay, I remember.
Well, we have to sit there for hours, just like not doing anything. You know?
I think Keith
kind of shift a little bit, you know.
I think Keith
But-
got me out early. I think they did the wide first, and I think I got to go.
That's exactly right. I talked her into it, saying that's what we do. I said, look, just do this for me, and then you go home, and then we'll do the coverage on.
I think
that.
I had to go home because we had to be up early the next day. I think I
Probably,
was.
yeah, probably so. But yeah, no, but it works out good. It was nice. It was a nice scene. I mean, I think the two of them did a really fantastic job. Chloe, you were fantastic sleeping back there too. But
Thank you so much.
Hey, KP, somebody just came on screen that hasn't been on screen for a while.
who?
Oh,
Queen, where is he?
here.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this crew.
Oh,
Oh, you look like you just came from the 70s.
Well,
Time traveling.
We are in the 80s.
I that's actually so appropriate, Chloe. I don't know if there's a time travel season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. airing right now. Literally right, isn't it? Isn't it right now?
Steph, that's how this works.
Keith.
what's going
Hi,
on, man?
Keith. Hi, Chris. Hi, Diane. It's everyone. Hi, Cereal Bish. Are you still Cereal Bish?
Yep, keep forgetting to change my name, and it's now like public, and that's kind of my private. But that's cool.
If you see it on the chat room, it's Clover.
Oh, Thomas is here too. I didn't see you. It was in the speaker view. Wow, what an extra. Oh, Thomas, you look so handsome.
You look like Charles Manson, and I think you of all people would take that as a compliment.
I would actually. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. If I didn't, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like because you played him, not because.
Right. I guess there's some backstory. There's context.
I guess I currently look more homeless than anything else, but I kind of think that's
like a buttoned up T-shirt. That looks neat.
Are you
That's
wearing
right.
a polo?
Yes, it is.
The actual fuck have you been doing?
The rare quarantine polo.
Yeah.
Wait, how do I look at every? Okay, now I've got everyone. All right, there we go. What's up, everyone? Where in the episode are we? What are we
Have you
talking
seen
about?
it?
I haven't, but I'm gonna watch it tonight. It's just it's early. It's the East Coast feed. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
I'm caught up. I've seen all the others.
You can watch, like, have this on while you're watching it. You know.
Obviously,
Hello.
that's
Can I ask the viewers how they're watching this? Because are you guys pausing? I'm not live, so you, Elizabeth, will see the answers. Are they watching this and pausing it? Are they pausing us, watching us on the commercials? Like, talk to us about how you're intaking this live, guys. That's all I want to know.
No, how you're in.
I'm just as curious.
That's all. We'll get it.
Where we are, Deek, is your granddad has just been on screen.
He has.
For the first time in season 7.
Are the people freaking out? I feel like everybody.
Let's look on the freaking
Do you
internet.
remember he came back and he was so slim?
So slim.
Yes.
He was almost
Like a
frail.
celebrity.
Almost frail. He is such a celeb.
By the way, Ian.
Wasn't that
Wait, it's,
Yeah.
been?
I would say about 90% of the social media toward me this season has been like, Jeff, where is Fitz? Stop this. Where is he?
Oh, wait, so he's on the screen?
Not at this second, but he just.
But he was.
But he was.
Yeah.
Stop making me feel like I just said.
I don't know. I got nervous. So people know. So people get so scared.
What Diane was saying, just like the nerves constantly.
I know.
Like,
I just sweated. So people see that he's here.
Yeah, we're now in another scene with him in, and we're in that big white.
I thought he was only in the very end of this.
I thought so too.
Stop! It's on right now.
Whoa!
Ending. Hello.
Stop! It is right. Keep like. Is anyone else
Chris,
watching the stream?
Oh, now I know what's going on. I remember. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Yes, someone said sobbing. We got Fitz, y'all.
Yeah,
So
y'all.
special.
Got it. I remember now.
When they told you you're gonna get Fitz in your episode, how was that for you? Did you cry?
I did not cry, but I was very excited. I was very happy because he hadn't been all season. I was like, obviously he's one of everyone's favorite characters. He's one of my favorite characters. It's my first episode. I want to write all the characters. So to be able to write some Fitz was very, very heartwarming to me.
Who else?
Great script. You guys, Keith and Chris, you guys killed it. I remember this is such a great one.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun. I like it a lot.
How was it? Did you feel the pressure, Keith, of having these kind of pivotal flashbacks?
With Fitz?
Yeah.
Is that kind of, yeah, you know what? It's funny.
Hello.
It didn't really, bother me actually. I was so happy to have him back. That was not the pressure. One thing we had with him from a technical issue was just scheduling, and having to schedule and get him in. And so there was a long, complicated, scheduling around other commitments and things like that. That made it, I think, a little more challenging, but we pulled it off as we always do. I mean, it's a well-run show for sure. So we made it work.
Was this Comic-Con?
I was just gonna say that. This was
Yes.
Remember, because you and Ian had to leave early.
Yep.
Yeah, we missed that last time.
Actually, I think it was that scene. We only had Ian for a few days, and that scene in the White Room, you guys had to come back and shoot that scene in the White Room and that other scene earlier.
Stupid
This
Ian.
episode was shot in the middle of the 2 Comic-Con days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Saturday?
That was part of the challenge. That and we only had Ian was only available for so many days and whatnot because of other things. So
Keith, that's what was crazy. Logistically, that was nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
Yep.
Because
Only you could have done that.
Not me. You know what? I mean, Gary actually, he was really pivotal in trying to sort that out because, that comes in from an executive producer position where you need to be able to work deals and get the cars and the vehicles to bring you back from San Diego, at a certain time.
Back to the party.
So yeah,
Well,
exactly.
came
Take you
back
back to the
for Real
party. I mean, you
Hero.
guys came up and film went back. So I mean, Gary gets the credit for that because he really kind of made all that happen.
Thank God you came back for that last night because that was like our last Comic-Con.
Oh, last one. That was such a good one. Remember? I remember.
Came back like a hero, not all
Yeah,
heroes.
what a hero. What a hero. I
It
can't
was
believe you did that.
Party. Best
I
party.
can't believe you came back for the party.
And the head jumpsuit.
You're heroic.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was
I
no.
feel like you're mocking me, and
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
not. I was equally begging Elizabeth to come to the party.
I was.
yes. Oh my gosh,
Remember?
I was so drunk.
And I met Manny for the first time before I fell in love with him.
And then you fell in
tell
love
him to
with
come
him.
say hello. Where's
I
Manny?
A
remember.
lot of love on the chat, by the way. A lot of people are talking about Manny and how cute you are together. And
Oh,
Who, me and Manny? We are pretty cute together. He's got a very clean look. I'm a little more. It's kind of a two sides of the same
Yin and
coin.
yang. yin and
gorgeous
yang.
couple.
Great. It's
Yeah,
good.
You emailed him a few weeks ago about your episode, and I thought it was a moment where I'm like, we just came in communication with Jeff. It was very exciting. You're back in our lives, Jeff.
I feel. Wait, Mike.
oh, that's again. This is the thing he really wants to hear.
Oh.
Gone. That was such a Jeff way to go out by accident.
It was too much for him.
I mean, I like the way it pauses too, with him kind of going,
Good word.
Yep.
Keith, you know when Clobell's like, like only you could deal with scheduling stuff that's so crazy, like Ian's availability for this episode. Can you explain why, as in like what you did in other episodes for Shield?
You mean as far as like we're just scheduling, and we have all the time to schedule around. We have to send the cast to go to
And what do you
and...
usually do?
Yeah, Chloe gets it.
What is that now? What is it? What?
I guess people don't know like that you are like one of the engines behind Shield.
So what assistant directors do, you know, we get the script, you know, we read it and we break it down. So we break all the scenes out, who's in them, where they're shot, and then we have to kind of put those in a logical order of shooting that, and we have to go on location availability, equipment availability, cast availability. Hey, he's back. So, you know, it's a lot of logistics. A lot of logistics to make it happen. So, you know, and then once we start shooting, the assistant directors, you know, we take a schedule that we've built and we've gotten that approved and work with Gary to make that happen. And then we have to drive the set, and we're the ones that have to kind of fit that day's work into a 12-hour day. So that's why I become a raging lunatic sometimes, unfortunately.
It's the most stressful job.
Keith is the hardest job on Shield, and
definitely
it is, especially for something like our show that has so like that. With most other productions, you would be given double the budget, double the time, and double the better actors.
Well, I love the actors are fantastic, and I love everybody. I just sometimes I know I got a little bit pushy, you know, but
no, I mean you have to.
Kind of have to.
What you kind of explained it like a very, but he's on set every single day, driving the entire day, and you have to think of things 10 times before on in every level, every department, with managing. I mean, like it's an unbelievably difficult job, and you have been with us forever.
Yeah, since day one.
Since which
the pilot, crazy. But I did everything after the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
you know, well, I mean, the thing too that's interesting about what we do as assistant directors is the problem solving that comes up, because every day you get thrown a curveball. Some piece of equipment didn't come in. Some actor didn't show up for work on season 3. Something like that happens, you know. So you have to scramble and figure out, okay, now what do we do, you know? And so there's a lot of having to think on your feet, you know, but it's a group effort. Everybody pitches in, and that's the one thing about this show that is different than any other. I mean, all the shows have families, but you know, I've been on a few other things, and there's been nothing come close to the family. And that's why that scene between Chloe and Mac, or Daisy and Mac earlier, is so important, because it's really about our family.
Yeah.
So for this episode, Keith, how did they decide which one you would direct? Because you AD'd the odd episodes?
Yeah, I used to do the odd episodes. Well, season 2, I did the even episodes, but then season 3, I started taking over, starting the first episode each season. So I would do odd. This season, I actually wasn't slated to actually direct one. And then we had Kevin Tantrone actually had to drop out for this one, because he was going to do the finale, which is going to be so big. And so he was really working hard on several shows, and he was just kind of, you know, had really worn himself down a little bit, needed a break before he started the finale. So he kind of had to bow out on this one. And it opened the opportunity for me, because I had done the slingshot thing first between for season 3 and 4. And then I did an episode on season 6, and, you know, they said, well, you're going to AD it. You've already prepped it. You've already read the script and already built the schedule. So why don't you just direct it? So it just kind of fell in my lap, which was a blessing, big time.
Well, you also stepped up, like you were like, yeah, I'll take this on, which.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to, and I love the script. I mean, I thought the script was fantastic. I had to get it, because I really, I mean, look, I love action and I love visual effects. I mean, those are awesome, fun things to do. But man, I really do, and I don't mean to sound corny, you know, or like this is, you know, contrived, but I honestly do love character. I love human being, you know, story so much. And this script had so much human emotion, because there are so many 2 people in a room scenes that, you know, you could really just let the actors have a good time with it. And so I was very fortunate.
How do you turn off? Because AD brain and director
it's
brain
hard.
Very different.
It's hard, you know, because like luckily we had a, you know, really great AD to step in. That's John Gordon, who was our first AD on second unit, and so he's awesome. I love that guy, and so he was able to step into that role for me and take away all the technical aspects of things I had to think of, how many extras for this scene and, how many stunt guys and I could just concentrate on the story with Chris, and the cast.
It was really fun having you just as director also.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah.
And you're so passionate about directing as well. And I think we all knew that's, AD is obviously a passion too, but directing for you is just, it's like, your soul just needs to do it. And so
yeah, exactly. You know what, your YouTube show, I know I've watched several of these, and the one thing you always talk about is how you try to tell the viewers how people get to where we are. Like, everybody has a different path.
Yeah.
And all of us in this business, there is not one cut and dry, step 1, step 2, step 3 to get to the place. We all get there differently. And mine just happened to be through the assistant directing route. And I learned the right way to do it. And I learned the wrong way to do it. I could see different directors who are very strong and maybe who weren't so strong yet. And so I got to see that up close and also see how the cast interacts with certain directors, because there's some people who are really good with the cast, and there are some that the cast have a harder time with sometimes, not knocking anybody. It's just the dynamic's not there. So for me to be an AD is good.
I could piggyback and just say you took such good care of your actors for this episode, and at every turn we're there giving people the permission to take the time, take the pauses, take this, take that. Let's talk about the scene. You were so patient and generous with us, and I think I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure it's reflected in the episode.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, try to be. Because you know what? It's nothing without what you guys, look, it starts with a script. It starts with what Chris wrote. That's number one. You don't have anything without a story, right? You can have all the action in the world and it's okay, but there's nothing really dynamic or wonderful about it or beautiful about it unless you have a story there. So it starts with what Chris does. And then all of you, I could not be prouder of this episode and the cast performances. I say it to everybody who sees it. The performances are just awesome. Everybody in this episode, everybody is on point. So
many amazing moments in this that just broke my heart again and again.
Well, yeah, you get to see you get to actually see the real people, the real character. In other words, the human being, the vulnerability inside each character. Like Daisy's tough, but she has a moment of breaking down. Diane playing Kora, and it took a lot for her to admit that she always wanted a sibling, and that one line there for her was so powerful. It just broke the ice with her and Daisy, So that's the beautiful thing I like. And it might sound corny to some people, but it's honest to God, the truth. It's what really gets me excited is watching and watching the nonverbal, watching what people do with their faces and their body language.
Yeah. So cool. Such a good episode. Chris, did you know that you were going to get did you know writing this that they do the finale as 2 hours? Did you know this would be like the setup for the final installment?
No, I didn't know that until the promo played. Okay, this is the penultimate episode. Okay. I knew it was going to be the third to last, and that already was like, oh, right. Okay, third to last episode of a 7-season show with over 100 episodes. Cool. And then the trailer plays like the penultimate episode. Ooh, yeah, awesome. Really.
You'll look good on the resume, Chris.
Yeah. Feel incredibly grateful and appreciative that I was given the opportunity to write this episode so close to the finale and to, pay off these emotional arcs that we've had over the entire show. And I'll also say, it being my first episode, I was so incredibly fortunate that Keith was directing it. You talked earlier, Elizabeth, how calm I seemed, and that was definitely helped out because Keith was so great on set with me and with the actors, and it really felt like a collaboration between the two of us.
It was. I would always make sure, and before we ever moved on, I want to make sure that Chris was happy that he got what he wanted, So
there's just been a big kiss on screen.
Oh.
For the tag.
You? No.
Oh. Oh, you guys. Oh. You guys kiss? Oh my God, I forgot.
It's such a hot kiss as well. It was really two, baddies kissing. It was great.
Diane, maybe you can corroborate this, but I don't remember. I feel like there was an alteration made to the script that day.
Yes.
Where it was like all of a sudden you're kissing. And you're like,
Yes, I think so too.
we need to get to Crafty. We need to get some Altoids. Like, wow.
By the way, Chris, like we like rarely add like there's like not a lot of kissing on this show, so that's kind of a big decision to
I
have.
tried to add more kissing in my original script. There was more Fitzsimmons kissing, more doozies kissing. I'm happy some kissing got in. I'm very
Sneaked in.
More
yeah, the very last edition.
Chris, did you become a writer just to write kissing scenes?
Maybe.
I just like it when they kiss.
I missed you, Jeff Ward. I love you.
I gotta just say also about Keith, that was so cool. Like, it was just so awesome because you were always there every day. So like there was like, it's like when Elizabeth stepped in to direct, there was such this like amazing, like, oh, it's you know, like dealing with the director who like is so invested in the story and the characters and like knows everything. Like sometimes like you have a director on anything, not just this show, where on TV, where somebody is like, what if you do this? And you're like, well, I had like a monologue a season ago about like why I would never do that. And they're like,
right.
Okay, cool. Well then, yeah, we won't do that. And it's like, you guys, you both, you know, the history, you know who we are, you know who everyone is to each other. And like, it felt like such inside baseball, you know, the whole time with both of you guys. And like, Keith, you're always running the ship. And like, for you to get to step in, take your time, be creative, and you were so kind and generous and like supportive. It was such a fun experience to see you transition. It was awesome.
Well, you know, the one thing, and Chris can probably say the same thing, but because we have been on the show for so long and everybody knows us, when it did come time for us to do these, you know, episodes, all of you and all of our amazing crew just put it into high gear and everybody stepped it up. You know, it's like everybody was that much more energized and collaborative in making it happen. And that was really important. So any crazy idea, like Bill would be like, whatever I want to do, Bill's like, yep, no problem, you know.
I was thinking about Bill and Bill only this morning.
Bill, I love Bill.
I wake up most mornings thinking about Bill.
Like I thought this morning, I was like, I wonder if Bill's thought of me.
He's probably watching. He's probably in the chat room right now.
I miss Bill.
I look in the mirror every single morning and I'm like,
am I Bill?
My hair looks like shitty Bill.
Yeah, but like
it's like I'm not nearly like his is like the middle school kid, like thick, very amazing hair. Like mine is like just I live under a bridge. But it's
for everyone watching, Bill is one of the camera operators that was with us for most of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Shout out Bill.
Super talented, one of the most talented operators around, period. I mean, hands
Steadicam,
down, best Steadicam guy in the business.
Incredible, most things you see, and he is also the funniest.
So cool. We love you, Bill. We know you're watching.
Bill's obviously watching.
No.
I'm gonna text him and tell him to watch it.
Oh my gosh, text him, yeah.
I will. I'm gonna tell him.
I don't even have his number.
I'll send it to you, Chloe.
Oh
you
my
think?
God.
I miss those texts from Keith being like, "You're gonna kill me, but your call time's been pushed up."
You know what I love about Chloe is I would when I was working as an assistant director, I'm always about let's go, and I would push Chloe, and some mornings Chloe wants to just relax for a minute, and I'd be like, let's go. And I remember one time she wanted to go to a premiere. And I said, if you want to, I texted her and she was in the makeup trailer. I said, if you want to go to the premiere to that show today, you better get in here and let's go with capital letters. And she texted me back a really funny, sticking her tongue out, whatever. But she came to set. She's true professional. But we had a great fun back and forth the whole seven seasons.
A lot of banter. Conversations. I'm going to look up our
a lot of banter at like 4 a.m.
Oh yeah, well Chloe also played a wonderful joke on last year on April 1st. Remember that, Chloe? Chloe calls my house, calls my cell phone at 4:30 in the morning and telling me that she's not going to be able to make it into work for the first scene at 4:30 in the morning. And I bought it. I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Is that all I said?
Every year.
Oh no, you went. There was a lot more that you went into, but
Was it? Did I say I was pregnant?
No, I think you said you were having a tough time and that you just didn't think you could do the scene today. That.
Oh, I said I'm just not gonna show up to work. Oh yeah.
Oh, is fucking merciless with those texts. The fact that you just said, "Did I say I was pregnant?" Like you just destroy people's days.
I did that to Jeff Bell and Marissa and Jed. I think every single year, and they bought it. Speak a lot about what they think of me.
She got me good, of course, and then on set, the whole crew had to find out because, of course, she had to tell everybody how good she got me on set. You know, I was like,
I got you really.
I did. I bought it all the way.
Because you know why? We were in hair and makeup, and everyone was listening, and they were silent, and I had you on speakerphone, and I was like, I said I was like really sick. I was like, I'm so sick. I was like, and I was like, are you sure you can't come in, just do this one scene? I can figure out how to. I was in like all day. It was like a crazy, I think it was like me and Henry or something.
I was trying to like bribe her to come into work. That's how bad it got.
Oh, that was classic. I was like, bitch, I already have my hair done.
That's what you said.
Oh, you guys, this is such a fun episode and a fun YouTube.
Yeah, I love seeing all of you.
Congratulations, Keith and Chris. You guys absolutely nailed it.
Thank you, Chris. Awesome script, man. I love it. So.
And a quick happy birthday to Kay. It's her 55th birthday today.
All right. Happy birthday, Kay.
Happy birthday, Kay.
Happy birthday.
Hey, one more week left.
Oh my God.
You know what though? This show, everybody loves this show, and it's doing so well in the streaming world. You know what? Who knows? Let's just keep our fingers crossed and keep thinking positive that somehow they revisit this thing. It'll be fun.
People want a movie, so
yeah.
I'm not saying yes, but I'm saying I'll do the movie.
No, there's no rumors. We're not starting any rumors here, but it would be really fun to get together and.
Chloe was approached, but she told them she's pregnant.
I'm sick.
Well, they're
I get you this year? I don't know. We can talk about it later. I don't remember.
Love you guys.
Okay,
Thanks.
love you.
All right, thank you for having us, Lil. This has been so fun.
You guys, Chris.
Yes, Lil.
I love you.
Hi, everyone. Good seeing y'all.
Bye, everyone. Everyone, you all killed it. Everyone's great. I haven't seen it, but I can't wait. I know you killed it. I'm watching right now. That's what you can do if you're watching this video. Watch it right now. Elizabeth, edit it so it clicks off right then. Right now.
It's alive, Jeff. You can't.
Well,
we still see you.
Okay. Right.
We all knew that was coming.
I didn't.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Love you guys.
All right. Good night.
Bye.